Alright guys, welcome to the 2.4 lesson. This is our second day on this lesson, and the only thing that's different about today's lesson is that we have an inequality, but we also have variables on both sides of the inequality, and we're going to clear that up right away. One of the things that we can do is we can subtract 2x from both sides from the like terms, or you could minus 6x from both sides. But if you minus 6x, it's going to give you a negative, and that means that we're going to eventually have to flip the inequality. So, to save you time, leave the variable positive. So we're going to minus 2x from both sides. That would give us 4x minus 5 is less than 11. Now at this point you're going to be looking for order of operations backwards, so any addition or subtraction, and we're going to want to get rid of this negative 5. So the inverse of minusing 5 is adding 5. So we're going to do that to both sides. That gives me 4x is less than 16. Final step here, the inverse of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. That's going to give me x is less than 4. It doesn't say to graph this, but if we wanted to graph it, we would have 4, 3, 5, open circle to the left. Let's look at another example. Alright, for the second problem, we have the same situation. We've got an x on this side and an x on this side. And we need to get them on the same side. So our options are we could minus 5x from both sides, but that'll give us a negative over here. So what I think we should do is minus 3x from both sides. That gives us 2x minus 6 greater than or equal to positive 4. Now we're looking for order of operations backwards. So we have minus 6. So the inverse of minus 6 is adding 6. We're going to do that on both sides. We get 2x greater than or equal to 10. And then the final step, instead of timesing by 2 or multiplying by 2, we're going to divide by 2 on both sides. And this is going to give us x greater than or equal to 5. If we graph this, the target is 5. To the left would be 4. To the right would be 6. Closed circle going to the right. Alright, so we have A and B, and these are different problems. So we'll do A first. And what we're going to have to do, if I look at this first, we've got a B on this side and a B on this side. But we're going to have to distribute this side. So let's rewrite this and do the distributive properties. So I've got 8b minus 3 greater than 4 times 2b would be 8b. 4 times a positive 3 is positive 12. Now I've got 8b and I've got 8b. So let's say that I minused 8b from both sides. My variables are going to go away. I get negative 3 is greater than 12. And now you want to look to see if this is true. Is negative 3 greater than 12? This is not true, right? So if this is not true, we're going to write no solution. And what that is telling us is that no matter what value that you plug in for B, it will never be true. So no matter what you put in for B, as long it's always going to be the same thing. This side will never be greater than this side. So that one is a no solution. Let's take a look at letter B. This one looks very similar to A in that we have to distribute first, and then we'll get the W's on the same side. So let's start with distributing. 2 times 5W is 10W. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Less than or equal to 7 plus 10W. Now let's say we're going to minus 10W from both sides. So our variables go away on this one. Negative 2 is less than or equal to 7, which is true. So our answer is that this has infinite solutions. Sometimes in your book it'll say all real numbers. Or another way to put it is called infinitely many solutions. And what does that mean? What that means is that no matter what value you put in for W, it'll always be true. So if you put in 0, this side will be greater than this side. If you put in 1, this side will be greater than this side. If you put in 1,000,000, this side will be greater than this side. So it doesn't matter what value you put in, it's always going to be true that the right side is going to be greater than the left side. So here are 4 problems I would like you to pause the video at this time. Try and do these 4. You don't have to graph them. Just try and solve them. So pause the video now, and I'll be back in just a second to go over each one. Alright, so let's look at number 5. I'm just going to rewrite it. 5x minus 12 less than or equal to 3x minus 4. Now my options here are I could minus 3x from both sides, and that would leave me positive, or I could minus 5x from both sides, and that would leave me with a negative. So you always want to do the one that's going to leave you with a positive variable, because it'll save you one step. So let's minus the 3x from both sides. That's going to give me 2x minus 12 less than or equal to negative 4. Now order of operations backwards, I'm looking for how do we get rid of this minus 12? So we're going to add 12 to both sides. That gives me 2x less than or equal to 8. Divide by 2 on both sides, we should get x less than or equal to 4. X less than or equal to 4 is the answer for 5. Now let's look at 6. Number 6, I'm going to do the distribution as I write it down. So 2 times k is 2k. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Is less than 2k plus 5. So if we minus our 2k from both sides, all our variables go away. We get negative 10 is less than 5. Is that true? Is negative 10 less than 5? That is true. So we have infinite solutions. You could also say infinitely many, or you could say all real numbers. And that's how you do number 6. Let's take a peek at number 7. On number 7, I'm going to distribute as I write it down. So 4 times 3n is negative 12n. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. Is greater than negative 12n plus 5.2. Alright, so now to get my variables on the same side, I'm going to add 12n. I get 4 is greater than 5.2. Is 4 greater than 5.2? No, 4 is not greater than 5.2. So our answer on this one is no solution. No number, when you plug it in on the left side, is going to make it greater than what's on the right side. Alright, let's go to number 8. Number 8 I'm going to distribute as I write it down. 3 times 2a is 6a. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Greater than or equal to 10a minus 11. Now my options for getting rid of the variable are minusing 6a from both sides, and that would leave me with a positive, so that would be good. Let's do that. I'm going to minus 6a here, minus 6a here. That gives me negative 3 greater than or equal to 4a minus 11. Order of operations backwards tells us we're going to get rid of this negative 11. The inverse of taking away 11 is adding 11. So we're going to do that to both sides. Positive 11 minus 3 is 8, greater than or equal to 4a. Now we're going to use the inverse of multiplying by 4, which is dividing by 4. That's going to give me 2 is greater than or equal to a. I'm going to ask you to flip that to give us a less than or equal to 2. And that's how you do those 4. Let's take a look at our mini assessment. So once again, I'm going to ask you to pause the video here, try to do these 5, and then I'll be back in just a moment to go over these, so pause the video now. Alright, let's look at the first one. The first one is negative 2x plus 6 is greater than 16. And so I'm going to get rid of that positive 6. So to get rid of the positive 6, I'm going to minus 6 for both sides. That gives me negative 2x is greater than 10. Now I'm going to do the inverse of multiplying by negative 2, which is I'm going to divide by negative 2 on both sides. I get x. Be careful. We divided by a negative. That means we have to flip the inequality. We should get x is less than negative 5. If you were to graph this, we would have negative 6 to the left and negative 4 to the right. Open circle headed to the left. Alright, let's take a look at the next one. Question number 2 says solve the inequality. 6n plus 5 is greater than 2n minus 3. We want to get the variables on the same side, so my options are I could minus 6n from both sides, but that'll leave us with a negative, or I can minus 2n from both sides, and that'll leave us with a positive variable. So that's the one I'm going to do. Minus 2n from both sides gives me 4n plus 5 is greater than negative 3. Order of operations backwards tells me I have to get rid of this positive 5. So the inverse of plus 5 is minus 5. Do that on both sides. We get 4n is greater than negative 8. The last thing we're going to do is divide by 4. I get n is greater than negative 2. And that's how you do the second one. Let's take a look at the third. On the third one, I've got 10x minus 3 is less than, now I'm going to do the distributive property, 2 times 5x, which is 10x, and 2 times positive 1 is just positive 2. Well, let's say I minus 10x from both sides. I get negative 3 is less than 2. Is negative 3 less than 2? It sure is. So it's infinite solutions. And remember, your textbook might say this differently. They might call it all real numbers. Sometimes it's also referred to as infinitely many solutions. So any of those are correct. Alright, let's look at number 4. So for number 4, I'm going to write it out. I've got 3 parentheses 4s minus 3 greater than or equal to 5 plus 12s. So we're going to start by distributing. 3 times 4s is 12s. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 or minus 9. So let's say I minus 12s from both sides. My variables go away. I get negative 9 is greater than or equal to 5. Is negative 9 greater than 5? The answer is no. And so this is no solution. Alright. Let's look at the last one, number 5. During the first 3 weeks of training, a runner runs 20 miles. Let me write that down. A runner runs 20 miles and 22 miles and 21 miles. How many miles must she run during the 4th week to have a mean of at least 22 miles per week? Well, let's talk about the mean. The mean is the average. The way that we find the average, let's say I'm going to say, what is the average of the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4? To find the average, you would add them up and then divide by how many inputs you have. And so this would be 10 divided by 4, which is 2.5 would be the mean, or the average. So let's use that here. So I've got 20 plus 22 plus 21 plus some number. I'm going to call that x. And we're going to divide that by how many inputs we have. So if you look, our inputs are 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to be dividing by 4. And we need our answer to be, what did they say here? Must she run during the 4th week to have a mean of at least, at the very least, 22 miles per week? And so this is going to be greater than or equal to, could be 22. So we've got 20 plus 22 plus 21 plus some unknown divided by 4. It has to be greater than or equal to 22. And the reason why this is the greater than symbol is because it's saying it can be at least. So it means it could be more, right? So this side could be much more than 22, but at the very least 22 miles. So let's go about solving this now. So to go about solving this, we're going to start by doing the inverse of dividing by 4. The inverse of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. So we're going to multiply by 4 on both sides. That's going to give me 20 plus 22 plus 21 plus x is greater than or equal to 88. Now, let's add all these together. So 20 plus 22 is 42. 42 plus 21 would be 63. So we get 63 plus x is greater than or equal to 22, or 88, excuse me. Now we're going to minus 63 from both sides. And so 63 minus 63 is 0. We get x has to be greater than or equal to. This is going to be 5. This is going to be 25. So so this person has to run at least 25 miles. All right, guys, that does it for the lesson. Good luck on the big ideas. If you have any questions, jump on the Math Help Meet.